What's going on, boys and girls? Thank you, Jesus. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Feliz Navidad, and all the other Christmas words that you can think of. We're going to do a Christmas meal recipe today, and I'm going to go through the whole process. I'm going to try to not to keep the video long. We're going to brine a turkey. We're going to make some a cauliflower casserole. Going to make some a green bean casserole, and we're going to make some cabbage as well too. So I want y'all to follow me through the process. Again, I have brined turkeys before, so I won't go into real detail, but I will show you what you need to do to brine the turkey. And this right here, guys, if you're ever going to do something like this, it's real good. You should start it way before it's time to start it. You know, Christmas is 2 days away. Today's the 23rd. I got to get this brine ready today because I got to put the turkey in there tomorrow so it can stay in there for at least 12 to 18 hours. So you want to get a lot of this stuff done fast, or you want to get it done so you're not rushing to do stuff on Christmas Day. So here we go. Alrighty, y'all. These are the things we need for the brine. You're going to need a gallon of vegetable broth right there. You're going to need some peppercorns, whether you use the black peppercorns. You're going to need some, if you have some whole allspice berries, you're going to need some of those. You're going to need some candied ginger as well too, some dark brown sugar. And those are really the only 4 or 5 things. You could really leave out the allspice. You could really leave out this right here. Now, the rest of the stuff that I'm just adding to just because I like the flavor of them, put some rosemary, some mustard seeds, some onion powder, some garlic powder, some paprika. So let's bring this thing together. All right, y'all, we got a half a cup of brown sugar. We got, it says to use about a half of a tablespoon of the candied ginger. You really can't because this stuff is candied. So I just use 1 slice of candied ginger. That's 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, a half a tablespoon of allspice, about a tablespoon of peppercorns, black peppercorns, a tablespoon of rosemary, and about a half of a tablespoon of the mustard seed. So we're going to put that in there, and we're going to put it on the stove, bring it to a boil. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a green bean casserole. And you know, most of the time you can use canned green beans, but we're going to use fresh green beans. We're going to use half of a small onion, use some sour cream, 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. Now you can use some milk as well too. I'm going to use some white pepper. Of course, you got to have your cream and mushroom soup. Going to have some diced pimentos, and of course, you have to have your crispy fried onions. I should have bought 2 of those so I can eat me a jar of them. Now, again, guys, when you're using the canned green beans, they're already cooked. So we're going to cook these because they're fresh. So we're going to cook these and just use a little bit of, this is just some chicken broth here. And now you're not going to cook them all the way, but you're going to cook them until they're tender. And that should be about enough. And right now, we're not going to add any seasoning to it because we're just wanting these to kind of blanch a little bit and cook. All right, now, so when it gets to this point right here, of course, you'll see your green beans turn from a really light green color to a dark green color, and that's when you know that they're done. All righty, you're going to bring that to a boil, guys. Just stir it around a little bit. Just want to make sure your sugar and all your spices are nicely mixed, and then we're going to turn this off and let that come to room temperature. That's why you want to make this ahead of time, guys. You're going to let that come to room temperature. You can even put it in the refrigerator once it gets cool enough. But we're not going to use that until tomorrow anyway. So that part's done. All right, now the third thing we're going to do is the cauliflower casserole. So we got a cauliflower, we got a bell pepper, a whole bell pepper, got some chives. You can use the dried chives if you want to. We got an onion, or just a regular old sweet onion. We got some chopped green onions as well too. We've got some cheese here. This is just you can use whatever cheese you like, but this is just a 4 cheese tray: cheddar, Swiss, Kobe Jack, and pepper jack cheese as well too. We got some bacon. You got to have the bacon. Now you can use turkey bacon if you want to. Got some Philadelphia cream cheese, and this is the chive and onion cream cheese. Again, we had some white pepper out here somewhere. Some white pepper there, and of course this right here is some Himalayan salt. All right. All right, we're just going to cook this bacon in the oven, preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and let it go in there for about 20 minutes. Now, you want this bacon to be kind of crispy, so you cook it till it's nice and crisp, but you don't want it burnt. All right, guys, one thing I did leave out was the mustard. You got to have some mustard, brown mustard, Dijon mustard, Grey Poupon. Now, what I've done here, guys, is I have separated the florets, which is the flower part, from the stems. The stems take a little bit longer to cook, and even that one right there, we're going to take that one out. So we're going to steam this. We're going to steam these right here. We're just going to put these in a little bit of water and kind of cook them until they're tender. Okay, guys, as part of this cauliflower casserole, which we've got the cauliflower still steaming right here in the steam basket. It's not quite done yet. The other one is almost done. And we did the other one in the microwave, guys. Actually, I should have done this in the microwave. But we're going to take our vegetables because at the amount of time we've got to cook our cauliflower casserole for, I don't think it's going to get these vegetables done properly. So we're going to put these vegetables in there. Just the onions and the bell peppers, the green peppers and the chives, they should be fine. But again, we're going to saute these until they're just nice and glistening. All right, guys, one thing I did not say, I did say it for the green bean casserole, but for the cauliflower casserole, we are going to have to use some sour cream as well. So let's put this thing together. All righty, so now what we're going to do is we're gonna have our room temperature cream cheese. I'm gonna put it in a bowl here, and it is room temperature, y'all. You don't want to use all of your chives and your green onions, so set a little bit of those aside, but go ahead and put that in there. We're going to take about a tablespoon of mustard. You can use more if you need to. And that mustard's going to give it some flavor, y'all. Oh, that's good. All right, we're going to use about 3/4 of a cup, and we're just eyeballing this, y'all. About 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. Just kind of eyeballing it. You really can't mess this thing up, y'all. We're going to throw a little bit of pepper in there. This is white pepper. That was probably too much white pepper. Throw a little bit of Himalayan salt. And we don't want to over salt it, so just a few sprinkles in there. And then we're going to add our cheese to it. All right, guys, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a few of each one of the slices, just kind of break them off like this. You can use the shredded cheese as well too. So you kind of get the idea of what I'm going to do here. Just take some. Now you want to have some left over. Now you want to have about a half a cup of cheese in there or more. You can use more than that if you like cheese that much. And we're also going to do a rough chop of the bacon. So what I want to do is I'm going to take 3 of these slices of bacon and put those over, or 2 of those slices of bacon, put those over to the side. Three is fine. And we're just going to do a rough chop. Oh, shoot. There we go. Yeah. Cameraman, you don't know what the heck you're doing. Now, guys, I made this bacon crispy, so all I had to do was literally just take the paper towel and just kind of ball it up, and there's your bacon right there. Look at that. All right, now we're going to mix all this together. And once we put the hot cauliflower in there, it'll make it come together a little bit easier. And see that sour cream and the cream cheese are coming together real well too. So let's put our cauliflower in there. All right, just bring this together. looks like you need more cheese, you can add more cheese to it, guys. It looks like it needs more sour cream to make it creamy. You can add more to it as well. All right, so it wasn't creamy enough for me, so I added the rest of the container of Philadelphia cream cheese. Now it's creamy enough. Now we're going to put it in a platter. Oh, shoot, guys. I almost screwed up. I almost forgot my darn other vegetables. Man, I almost forgot my other doggone vegetables. I was wondering why it wasn't looking as filling. Now, I may have to add some more stuff to it too, y'all, but maybe not. Okay, let's stir that in. All right, we'll come back. Alrighty, now we put it in our platter here. Now to add the stuff that we had taken out just a second ago, just to kind of make it look a little pretty. We're going to take some of our chives and our green onions, just kind of put those on top here. There's no certain way you have to put it up there, guys. Take some of our bacon, just chop it. This is just going to make it look good, you know. And I'm telling you guys, just handling this bacon in my hand, I want to eat some. And you see that piece that fell outside the bowl over there? That's getting eaten. And there's another one that fell outside. That fell outside the bowl. That's getting eaten too. So I'm going to taste this bacon. My mouth is watering. It's good. All right. Now you also want to put a little bit of cheese up there too. All right, we're just going to take some regular bag cheddar and put it over there like that. Now, you can take some of the other cheese that I had as well, too. Again, you cannot mess this thing up, y'all. You really can't. Well, that makes it look nice and pretty. We're going to take some foil, cover it up, put it in an oven at 350 degrees. And we're not going to do this today. We're going to do this on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday is Christmas. So this is just the prep work, so I don't have to do this on Saturday. Alrighty, now the green bean casserole, that's going to be easy here, guys. So we're going to take some of our condensed soup here. Just empty that out there. Make sure you get all of it in there, which we did. We're going to take about 3/4 of a cup of milk, or you can use sour cream. Take that there. We're going to take a few, just about a tablespoonful of our pimentos. Got to have some white pepper. You don't really need any salt in here, guys, because this right here, the cream of mushroom soup and the onions that we're going to put in there will already have that in there. Then we're going to take some onions, some of the fried onions. Going to take some of the fried onions. Let's put some in there. And you don't want to put all of them in there. You just want about 1.5 cups full. And then you're going to save some for the outside. Give that a little mix. Add your green beans. And remember, we got the onions in the green beans. I'm just going to pour off a little bit of the water. I'm going to add our green beans in there. All right, give it a little mix. Make sure everything is nice and covered. Oh, this is going to be so good. Again, guys, it's 2 days before Christmas. So, you know, just think about you having to do all this and cook the turkey and do all this on Christmas Day. Imagine, you remember how your grandma used to get up and do all, and your mama have to get up early in the morning and be tired as heck at the end of the day? Well, that's how it was. They didn't do a little bit. They didn't. Well, they did planning, but because my mom would do stuff ahead of time. And so she did. So she wasn't all stressed out. She would do some pre-planning and some pre-cooking here. So there you go. So again, now tomorrow, all we got to do, it'll go in at the same time as the cauliflower casserole, 350 degrees, 20 minutes. I'm gonna put a lid on this right here, and then once it cooks, we'll put the rest of the topping of onions on top of it. All right, y'all, you can't have a Christmas dinner without having some biscuits. So we're going to do some gluten-free biscuits. And I know a lot of folks are probably rolling their eyes and say, why gluten-free? Well, it's just the kind of way that my wife's eating right now. And so, plus I don't get as much heartburn from these gluten-free since this stuff is made out of rice flour. I don't get heartburn as bad. I still get heartburn, but not as bad. But these are going to be some buttermilk biscuits. I'm going to use 4 cups of the flour. Going to use 1/4 of a cup of the baking powder. And that's kind of what will kind of make these things rise a little bit. I'm going to use some salt, about a teaspoon of baking soda, 3 sticks of butter. That's what's going to make it nice and rich. 2 jumbo eggs, 1 3/4 cup of buttermilk, and some butter to go on top of it once it's melted. Well, not once it's melted, once they're cooked and you put it on top of the biscuits. You get what I'm saying, right? Alrighty, so we got the butter cut into 4ths right here. Again, that's a lot of butter, y'all. So y'all know these biscuits are going to be rich, which means they're going to be good. So we got those cut into 4ths, and we're going to put our dry ingredients together. All right, so we got our flour in there. Let me tell you guys, I didn't have quite 4 cups, so I added just a little bit of coconut flour, maybe 1/4 of a cup of coconut flour. So that's our flour there. We're going to put in 1/4 of a cup of baking powder. That's our 1/4 of a cup of baking powder. All right, we're going to get 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. Some Himalayan salt here. I'm not going to use quite a teaspoon because this stuff tends to be kind of on the strong side. Okay, we're going to give it a stir to mix it up. All right, we'll come back here. All right, guys, I went and got my bigger bowl because I figured this was going to get messy when I added in the butter. So we're going to put the butter in here. It's a lot of butter. Add that butter in there. And again, you can chop this in here, but from everything that I've been told, it's probably better off to use your hand. So we're just going to use our hands, guys. Crush it all up like this. And then we will come back because we want to get tiny little balls here once it's all done. So we will come back here shortly. All right, guys, that was fun. That was fun. I can see why kids like to play in the dirt. You know, that was fun, bringing all that stuff together with your hands. And I could have shown it all, guys, but we just ended up with a really super long video. So I just took it and really literally crushed up everything into little bite-sized pieces here. Now we're going to add our eggs and our buttermilk. Alrighty, we're going to add our eggs in. And 1 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk. And we're just gonna bring it together. Now it should be kind of wet and sticky, y'all. So we just want to bring it together until it comes together. And then we're gonna let this sit overnight, y'all. We're gonna cover it and let it sit overnight. But again, you shouldn't need any more buttermilk in here. That's coming together real good. Forgive the sound that I've got going in the background, listening to some stuff. Guys, there's one important ingredient that I left out of the brine, and you cannot make this brine without it. So you got to have 1 cup of salt. So I'm going to go ahead and put the salt in here and go ahead and dissolve it. Now our brine is over here, and it's all cooled down. So we'll cool this down as well too as soon as it dissolves. But you can't leave this step out. It's very important that you have the salt. It makes the solution absorb into the turkey, and which makes the turkey tender. Alrighty, guys. I've got one of these igloo coolers for my brine. You can use like a 5-gallon bucket, but I use this cooler only for brining turkeys and brining meat. I don't put no drink in it. I don't drink out of it. I bought it for that purpose. So it's not, if that's something you might want to do, or you can, and it does kind of keep it insulated too. We got our turkey, and the turkey is semi-frozen. I mean, it's been in the refrigerator for a couple of days, and we got some heavily iced water right here. We got our brine over here on the stove. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the whole turkey in there, breast side up, and then we're going to add our brine. All right, I want to give y'all an idea of what we're going to do. Again, we're going to do, I said breast side up, but we're going to do breast side down. And we're going to add our brine. Try not to spill it. Put our brine like that. Then we're going to add our heavily iced water. And then, guys, we're just going to let that sit for about, again, I'm going to let it sit till tomorrow. I'm going to let it sit till tomorrow morning. It'll be good and ready. It'll stay cool in this thing. If it's cold outside, put your cooler outside and go from there. And then we'll catch you when we take this turkey out. Alrighty, I decided to go ahead and chop up my cabbage and my onions for the fried cabbage today. And what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to have cabbage. Got 2 onions here, got some lemon juice, got a little apple cider vinegar, some dill weed, some paprika, a little bit of garlic, got some white pepper, and we got some Himalayan salt. So we're just going to chop it up today, all the onions and stuff like that, and we're going to cook it tomorrow. Just so that we don't have so much to do on Christmas Day. All right, we got everything chopped up. This is just one less thing you've got to do tomorrow. Now we're going to take some oil, and we're going to also add some of these green onions to it as well, too, y'all. You could add some bell peppers to it if you want to, but I've got bell peppers and a lot of stuff. We're going to use some bacon fat to fry this in. You don't have to use bacon fat. I know some people have an adverse reaction or they don't want to use pork products, and that's just totally up to you. You can use avocado oil. You can use turkey grease, whatever the heck you want to use. But I'm going to use bacon grease on mine, and it's going to come out real good, y'all. So we'll see you tomorrow, which it'll be just a few minutes for you guys. Alrighty, we've taken our turkey out of the brine. You have to take out the giblets, the heart, the liver, the neck, and the gizzard. You have to take all that stuff out of the inside of the cavity here. I got the wings folded back. This one right here had the little flappy part of the wing was missing. So they cheated me. So I've got a little bit of light cooking spray on top of it, guys. You shouldn't have to season this whatsoever. Have your oven set at about 325 degrees, and let's get this thing done. It's got a pop-up timer on it right here, but I'm also got one of my timers here as well too. So that's what temperature is at right now. So it's almost frozen. We're going to put a light covering of foil over it. I mean, you don't want it completely covered. And then you're going to take this off. When you get to like the last 30, 40 minutes, you're going to take that off. All right, guys, we got about another 20 or 30 degrees. We're going to uncover the turkey and let it brown a little bit here. See, it's not really brown, but you can smell it. It smells real good. So we're going to let it brown a little bit. Alrighty, the turkey is done. Now look at this, guys. Turkey is supposed to be done at 165. See right here, it says 165. That little pop-up timer hasn't popped up. So, I mean, what do you have to do? Burn it? This says 171, and I've tested it in all parts, so it's done. So I think that's a defective timer, pop-up timer. And as I was talking, the pop-up timer popped up. Just as soon as I turned the camera off, the pop-up timer popped up. All right, y'all, we're going to come back to the biscuits here now. Turkey's done. You got to let that rest for probably 30 minutes or so. Now, this is the flour dough that we made a little while ago, and I'm going to do something different to it. I'm going to add a little bit of cheese to it so there can be cheese biscuits, and that's what I get for searching around on the internet. So it's not really going to change the recipe any, and you don't have to do this in yours, but I'm going to do it to mine just to give it a little bit of a different flavor here. That's about a cup of cheese there. I'm just going to blend that in with it. All right, now we're going to put our dough with the cheese in it down on a floured surface here. And we're just going to kind of flatten it out. You don't have to use a rolling pin for this. Just make sure it's nice and mixed. It's not chunky. It gets kind of messy, but that's okay. And then we'll come back after it's all nice and flattened out, guys, because that's all I'm going to be doing is flattening it out. All right, all we're going to do is take a 3-inch cookie cutter. Now, I have also, well, I had a 3-inch cookie cutter. Where did I put it? Okay. I've also greased a cooking sheet right here. And we're just going to take these out here. This is about 1 inch thick, y'all. Just take them out. Put them in there. See how they come out nice and round? And we're going to do each one of them like that until we're done. Alrighty, guys, you actually get 14 of them there. So these right here, I'm just going to freeze, maybe eat those for breakfast or something, at some later date. But there you go. We'll put those in the oven closer to when it's time to eat. All right, y'all, I almost forgot about the doggone cabbage. So we're going to saute our onions here. Get them in there first. That's some oil in there. Now my particular oil is some bacon grease. So again, you don't have to use bacon grease, whatever floats your boat. So we're going to use that. We're going to saute that. I'm going to put some of our green onions in there as well too. Oops, y'all still see? Okay. Throw a couple of green onions in there. Like 3 or 4 tablespoons full. Just saute those down. And then we'll come back here when we add the cabbage. Okay, we're also going to add some garlic. You know I'm a garlic fan, so I like garlic. Alrighty, after about 1 or 2 minutes, y'all, looks like that. We're going to start putting in some of our cabbage here. And we're not going to put in the whole bag because this will kind of render itself down. But you got to keep stirring it pretty much. And then we'll add, once we get it rendered down and softened, we'll add our spices. So we'll come back here. Sometimes putting a lid on it kind of helps too. Now we can start adding our spices to it. And I didn't even use the whole bag, guys. We're just going to have that left over. I'll make some coleslaw or something out of that. But we're going to use a little bit of paprika in it. This is about a teaspoon or so. Maybe a teaspoon and a half. I'm going to use some dill weed. A lot of folks say I use too much dill weed, but dill weed is good. You don't have to use dill weed if you don't like it. It's about a teaspoon of dill weed. We're going to use just a couple of tablespoons of vinegar. And I'm just eyeballing it, y'all. I'm going to use the same amount of lemon juice. Just going to give it a nice little flavor. We're going to put some white pepper in it. Not too much. And then we're going to put some Himalayan salt in it. Maybe about a half of a teaspoonful. You can always add more to it if you need it. And then we're just going to saute that around until it gets nice and tender. And we'll come back once it's done, because we got to get our casseroles in the oven now. All right, we're going to come over to our casseroles here. We're going to put a little bit more of our onions on top here. And we're going to cook these covered for the first 20 minutes. And then we're going to take them off and let them brown for about 10 minutes. That's both of them. All right, there we go. All righty, look at that, y'all. That's the green bean casserole, and that is the cauliflower casserole. They're done. Just gonna let those rest for a little while while we do the biscuits. Alrighty, guys. Now I browned the biscuits. They're a little bit too brown, aren't they? You have to put butter on them and cook them for about 25-30 minutes. They actually look good and they smell good. We got our green bean casserole here. Got our cauliflower casserole. We got our cabbage here, and we got our turkey. Everything is done. I wasn't all stressed out trying to cook all this stuff, and we're gonna eat. It's time to eat. They've got to rest for about 10 minutes after you take them out of the oven here. So we're gonna put this thing together, and we're gonna have us a good old meal. Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you guys have a great New Year's. I'll probably be making a chitlin video come New Year's. So peace.